Yes. So what happens is here, Annie's feeling about diary. Anne's feeling about diary. Annie's writes a diary. She feels that doing so is a strange experience for one to like her. It is obvious that no one would think a young little girl of 13 years old is going to write a diary and anyone will be interested in her crap which she's writing. She thought it so far so good. But she starts writing a diary. One day she was a bit depressed. She felt that paper had more patience than people. She was wondering whether to stay in or go out. Finally, she stayed in and thought. She felt that, she won't let anyone read her diary unless she found a real friend. So she wrote it. Now, what happened is writing about her family. She had friends, she had family, she had everybody, but she didn't have that one person who she can share with her personal feelings. I have so many known people to me, but I tell you honestly, no one knows the actual truth about me. I don't tell everybody about myself anything. I just only say my father's name, and after that I keep shut. Sometimes to people I don't even say that. I just tell them, you're looking at me, you know my name, that's enough for you. I'm not authorized or I'm not subjected, or it's not mandatory that I have to give you my Aadhaar card and my passport and my driving license to show you who the hell I am. So as long as my name is enough, that's it. Nothing more than that. Because I don't trust people so much. Trust is a very strong word which cannot be done with everybody. Okay, so it happens. You have to get that spark has to spark inside, that lighter spark. That right spark at the right time has to go, and then the fire is going to burn on your gas oven. That's time when things begin to happen. Okay, so she wrote that she was not completely alone in this world, but she had loving parents and a 16-year-old sister. Clear. She had about 30 people around her. She could call friends. She had a family, aunts at good home, but that not true friends. So she started writing her diary. She could not get closer to her friends. She admitted her fault that she could not confine anybody in each other, since they were not liable to change. Those things inside her will not change. So she started writing a diary, made it her friend. She named her diary Kitty. Now suppose if I'm talking to you and we want to be friends and we say hi, hello, hi, and after that we talk about ourselves, right? We get introduced. We have an intro between us, or our friends give us the intro. Okay, this is the father. These days what happened? Oh, father is a huge businessman, this, that, very powerful. Oh my god. We think. We are not thinking about that person who we are wanting to be friends with. We are thinking about the background. Everyone is different. Everyone has a story. Go back to APJ Abdul Kalam. He was selling newspaper. He became news. So if someone's selling a newspaper, I won't be friends with a newspaper man. What the heck? Yeah? He is also a human being. I can be friends with anyone. I can be friends with a rickshawala. I talk to rickshawalas when I sit in the rickshaw. I feel bad when they pull. Sometimes they go up those culverts. There's one culvert here in Muzaffarpur where the rickshaw man has to get down. So I also get down. I also push it up with him. What the problem? I don't know. Where does it happen? People look at me, stare. I said, what is he doing? I said, yes. I said in my mind, yes, I'm paying him to take me there. But this man is going to I'm sitting there and he's going to pull me up on that part. It looks bad. The rickshaw man gets surprised. He said, what type of customer is this? And I say thank you. Whenever I leave a rickshaw, I say thank you so much. They look at my face, he goes mad. He's working for a living. You don't know what is his destiny tomorrow, where he will be. Okay. It's like that. We don't find the right people. So I don't find. So I make friends. Making someone a friend is not so easy. But yes, respecting everyone has to be done. So you have to get introduced to yourself. Introduced that much where you feel secure. So Annie was secured and feeling total trust with the diary. The diary, she says, the paper is more patience than human being. Paper will not speak to you. Whatever you write, it will take. It will keep it. That means it is listening, on contrast to this thing. But suppose if you are telling me a story and I am getting bored, that what's happening every day, the same thing, you are telling me, what the heck? Okay, I am just now coming in, I want a call, my mother is calling, my dad is calling, I won't come. But paper, you keep on writing, it will not say stop unless you get tired. So she wrote a brief sketch of her life, though she disliked doing so. So she wrote it. She wrote that her father married her 25-year-old mother at the age of 36. Her sister Margaret was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. She was born on 12 June 1929. Her father immigrated to Holland in 1933. Her mother Edith Hollander Frank went with her father to Holland, but she and her sister were sent to Aachen to stay with their grandmother. Then they went to Holland. Basic information. Then Annie's school. Okay. Now Annie's school, there she was sent to a Montessori nursery school. She stayed there until she was 6. In the 6th class, her teacher was Mrs. Cupperus, the headmistress. Both had tears when they bade farewell. They loved each other so much that teacher-student rapport, if it gets created, I just can't explain what is it. It's more than a parent and child relationship. Okay. So reasons for not writing the diary. In summer of 1941, her grandma fell ill. She had to be operated upon. She died in January 1942. She thought of her greatly and still loved her still. She thought of her greatly and she loved her still. I said still twice. That was wrong. They celebrated Annie's birthday in 1942. The 4 of them were doing well till 20th June 1942. Then Annie wrote her diary again. Her class affairs. It was the day of the declaration of results. Everyone in her class was in tension. The reason was who would go to the next class and who would not. They had bets with each other, boys, on who would pass and who would not. She found the teachers as the most unpredictable creatures on the earth. She was not worried about her girlfriends and herself. She was sure to make that. But she was not sure about maths. They could wait and teacher and told each other not to lose heart. My God, I'm just reading this and I'm getting goosebumps. Maths I get fever when I hear about maths. I just hate it. But it's nothing to do. I actually never wanted to do it. So if I would have done it, my destiny would have been something else. Anyways, maths also I hate. The base point is that. And Mr. Keesing gives extra work as punishment. She went along her teachers pretty well. Mr. Keesing was a dull person who taught them maths. He was always annoyed with her as she talked much. He gave her as a punishment extra homework. It was in the form of an essay on a chatterbox. She was unable to understand what she could write about it. She put a slip of it on her school bag. It was to remind herself to write later. Chatterbox. She put a slip of the name Chatterbox, the person who talks too much. Does the homework given extra? In the evening, she had done her homework. She began thinking of the subject of the essay. She thought to write good points of arguing to prove necessity of talking. Then she had an idea. She then wrote the 3 pages of her satisfaction. She wrote that talking was a feature of a student. Her mother used to talk too much. Her mother used to talk much. She inherited this trait from her mother. She tried to keep quiet. Again, homework is given as punishment. Mr. Keesing read it and laughed. Then he gave her another essay as she didn't stop talking. She was supposed to write it on an incorrigible chatterbox. uncontrollable, incorrigible. You're not. She wrote it and satisfied Mr. Keesing. She did not talk for 2 lessons, but she started speaking again in the third lesson. He asked her to write an essay. It was quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. The classroom too roared into laughter hearing it. She also laughed. She wanted to write something original now. Her friend Sani was good at poetry. She helped her to write the essay in verse. Annie's poem uh, was a joke actually on Mr. Keesing himself. Annie had finished her poem. It was about a mother duck and a father swan with 3 baby ducklings. The 3 ducklings were bitten to death by the father. It was because they quacked too much. Luckily, Mr. Keesing took the joke the right way. Mr. Keesing had played a joke on her, but she had it on him. She had it on him, and she was there ready for that attack. He read the poem to the class, adding his own comments. Since then, she had been allowed to talk. She hadn't been given extra homework. Mr. Keesing continued making jokes in the class. This is the extract taken from this. So, the actual thing of the Holocaust, which is not here. This is kept short and simple, so we are going to do this. I have given you the basic thing. Please listen to the video. Try to write down things if you can, and it'll be much more helpful. So, till then, take care. Be good. In the next class, I'll come and try to discuss some question answers with you. That will be much more easier and great if I can do that. So, see you till then. Take care. Bye bye. God bless and be safe. Be happy and take care of yourselves and respect your parents. 4 points, right? I guess. Anyways, I've just told you. Bye bye.